Are you guys as excited as I am? It's just a few more days, right? Just a few more days until we get AMD's reveal of Big Navi. But until then, we've got to survive on leaks, and I've got a little bit more leaked info for you today. And then also just some thoughts I have about this new graphics card launch. Stick around and let's talk about it. Also, I want to give a big thank you to everybody who liked and subscribed to my video yesterday. I'm just starting this YouTube channel out, and that really helps me grow in the search algorithm. Thank you, guys. All right, so what do I have for you today? The main leak I've got today is from Patrick Schur on Twitter. And he's leaked some stuff before I reported on, where he was reporting on the clock speeds that we could see from the Big Navi cards. And when that got reported at 2.4 gigahertz, a lot of people, and there were comments on my video saying, like, there's no way that's real. And I watched other videos, people reporting on the same thing, and there was a lot of sentiment around, no way does it go to 2.4. But we've been seeing more and more leaks suggesting that not only does it go to 2.4, it can beat that. And Patrick Schur is bringing us more info along these lines. I'm going to read it to you off of my phone, but I'll pop it up on the screen for you to see here a little bit better. So we got two tweets from him today. So the first one he says is some results from a TGP of 255 watts. And he says, don't ask me what's the difference between 255 watts and 289 watt models. Probably more OC headroom and more stable boost clocks. Yeah, with a little face there. Anyway, so what has he got? He's got System 2 and System 3 here. He says System 2 has an average of 2,298 megahertz, median 2357, and a max of 2509. So it is not just getting to 2.4, it is beating it. And System 3, we've got an average at 1993, but median's up around 2342, and max at 2557. So again, we're seeing some... let me report the other tweet to you, but I want to talk about like those are really different results, especially on the averages. Anyway, let's take a look at the other tweet I've got for you. So his other tweet is, he says it's a Navi 21 XT, which should align with the RX 6800 XT Big Navi model that we've been talking about. And he says that it's an Asus Strix engineering board, and it was running these speeds when being tested in 3D Mark 11. Now, we've got System 1, 2, and 3 here. Let's compare. So System 1, we've got 2291 average, median at 2373, max at 2556. System 2, we've got an average at 2289, median at 2301, and max at 2394. System 3, we've got an average at 2092, median at 2320, max at 2489. And we've got TGP numbers here, which is 289 watts, and we've got a M clock at 1000 megahertz. He's saying max equals peak. Okay, he's also got a little follow-up thing here saying that the driver had some problems, and that's why the clock rates are so different. Okay, so what can we gather from this? Well, the first thing I'm noticing that might stand out to people and be a fast thing to talk about is the TGP being at 289 watts. Now, I don't know how closely you guys have been following all of this and whether you watched my previous videos, which I can speak, guys, which you can check out. In those videos, we've been talking a lot about power, because that's going to be a big deal for me personally. My gaming rig I have back here behind me only has a 650 watt power supply in it. So when I saw that the 3080 was a 320 watt card, and then board partners can push it up to more like the 350s, and God forbid you overclock it and start pushing in the 400s, it's hungry for power, right? And then I was kind of hoping that we would see the AMD cards not be so power hungry. So you're seeing this 289, and maybe if you're in a similar situation to me, you're hoping the 289 is good news, that we're not going to be drawing that 320 watts. Unfortunately, That's a total graphics power number, and as I understand it from AMD's perspective, that's just the power draw from the GPU itself and its memory, but it doesn't include all of the other things that are on a GPU card that also draw power, including fans and all those other sorts of things, which each don't draw a lot of power by themselves, but the board needs to be able to supply a larger amount of power than just the GPU processor itself and its memory utilize. So the 289 is just that graphics power, and so I would imagine we will be seeing power draws up in that 300 to 320 watt territory, more like we're seeing on the 3080s. And for me, that's a big disappointment, because man, I just wanted to upgrade my GPU right now. I want to hold off a little while longer on a full rebuild. I just want to drop in a new GPU without having to take out the power supply, which is the most annoying thing to upgrade in a system, let alone the amount of extra money it would cost me to buy another power supply. Anyway, it's looking like we are going to see high power draws from these cards, although I'm still hopeful that they'll be a bit less power hungry than Ampere, maybe at least possibly due to being on the 7nm process. I'm just holding out hope. So what else did we get out of this tweet? So we are seeing those wide ranges of differences especially on the average clock speeds that they're getting. And average is most interesting to me, because I'm thinking that's where you're actually going to sit most of the time while gaming, right? Who cares if your card can push 2500 megahertz for a split second when you're actually gaming? Because if you're gaming and not just trying to set some world record clock speed, then you need stable performance for the duration of your gaming session, which is likely a lot longer than your card can hit that max boost. So from a gaming perspective, I'm interested in those averages. And one thing I'll say is, overall, they look really high. Those are very high numbers, and that's good. That's encouraging, and it makes those 2400 type numbers that we're getting reported a very real possibility, especially on different board partner cards. But it's really interesting seeing all those dips in the average on these different systems. And again, we have Patrick Schur saying that the driver had some problems. That's why the clock rates are so different. So hopefully that just means this is, and he did say this is an engineering sample. So I'm hoping that we're just seeing that the engineering sample doesn't have a final driver. And I'm very much hopeful that we will have nice, well-performing drivers for the cards at launch. And that can actually bring me to what I want to talk about for the rest of the video here. In my last video, I had a whole bunch of interaction in the comment section, and wow, there is such a wide range of opinions on whether AMD is the real deal, we got to get that one this time, or whether Nvidia all the way for all sorts of reasons. And this isn't going to be a full video hashing all that out. I think once the AMD reveal is out, I'll probably put out a piece on so AMD versus Nvidia, which do you buy? That sort of thing, pros and cons. But let's do a quick summary of that kind of stuff right now, especially for those of you thinking about should you be trying to participate in the launch of one of these cards to grab stock when you can? Since we saw with Nvidia that stock was so low, you got to be monitoring those closely if you want one. And then AMD, it's likely that they're going to have better stock than Nvidia did due to their TSMC process, 7nm process, having better yields than the Samsung 8nm. But I'd expect demand to still be so high that they are going to sell out very quickly at launch. A lot of it comes down to how much you care about the little extra features that Nvidia offers, as well as their reputation for more stable, consistently performing drivers. So drivers were hit and miss. When I, again, monitored my comment section, I had some people saying I've had AMD cards for years, never had driver issues, and that's all completely overblown and kind of a marketing thing from Nvidia. And I saw other people saying, no, I build PCs, and I build a lot of them, and I certainly have seen a lot of AMD driver issues. So that can be a bit contentious. And then the debate was also surrounding a lot of other topics. What does Nvidia bring to the table? They have a lot of these little bonus things. Like, we know that they are going to have better ray tracing performance, at least for this generation. Not to say AMD is going to be any slouch. It's looking like 2080 Ti levels of ray tracing performance, but that is kind of one generation behind what we're seeing from Nvidia. By kind of creating that category and getting a generational head start on that, Nvidia does have the advantage in the ray tracing performance, at least for this generation. Now, a lot of people are pointing out, like, well, I don't really care about ray tracing because that's a massive performance hit to turn it on for debatable visual appeal. And I feel like that's a really subjective thing, and that's something that's really interesting to me with this launch of graphics cards. I think this is, at least in my memory, the most subjective graphics card launch I've seen. And what I mean by that is, so much of it is up to personal preference when it comes to which card is better. I feel like in the past, it's always been like, one card offers a better performance per dollar, and then maybe another one offers just a better total performance. Things like that. Or there's more clear-cut issues like heat issues, or what have you. But with this launch, I think that the graphics card market has gotten more complicated than it used to be because of all of the, I really feel like it's because of all the things Nvidia has sort of added to their package beyond just straight up rasterized gaming performance. So specifically ray tracing, which I just talked a bit about. They've also got DLSS, which again is not available in every title, but if it's available in a title you're interested in, DLSS 2.0 can give you massive frame rate boosts for a very minimal visual loss. And this is not going to be a full rehash on DLSS, but again, it's really something that some people care a lot about and others don't, especially since it's not available in every game. Also, what else does Nvidia bring to the table? They bring a whole bunch of software packages that can help streamers out quite a bit. So their NVENC encoders, I've certainly used on my 2070. I used to upload, before I actually started using this YouTube channel as an actual YouTube channel, I used to use it as a place to just share gaming clips I thought were cool with my friends. And you know how I was recording those? I was recording them with my GeForce Experience setup on my 2070, using that recording and that nice NVENC encoder that was giving me really nice recordings, very minimal performance hit, so I could leave it running while I played games without really thinking about it, and a very nice compressed file with a high level of visual quality. That's a really nice thing for a lot of people, but again, it's an extra that some people actually just don't care about at all. There are people who never record themselves playing and never stream anything. So it's completely irrelevant to them that it has that ability. And they also don't do any other kind of video production where the NVENC stuff helps them. We could go on and on here, but what I'm getting at is that things have become really complicated when you're choosing your graphics card manufacturer here. It used to be a much more simple, which one has the performance I need for the price I can handle. And I think that's still by far the number one factor. But there are some other things to consider, and I just want you all to be aware of that as you go into these launches and start to make your choices. And man, am I aware of it. I'm going to be 100% honest here. I still do not know which card I'm going to buy, and I don't even know if I'm going AMD or Nvidia at this point. And I'd love to hear you guys again in the comment section. That's been one of my favorite things about starting this channel up, is getting a really nice little kind of personalized forum to discuss technology stuff with you guys. So go ahead and talk about this in the comments. Are you thinking AMD? Are you thinking Nvidia? And what do you think about these performance leaks we just got from Patrick Schur today? Let me know. And also, if you made it to the end of the video, you could consider hitting the like and subscribe. It does help me out in the YouTube search algorithm, and man, does it. Like, I can't believe it yesterday, and it's still going today. That's by far my best performing video. I've only been doing this tech YouTube thing for a couple of weeks now, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's cool to start seeing some success in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys, and hope you have an excellent day.